Hey everybody, thank you for watching. And today we're going to discuss the second step in the manifestation alignment process, beliefs. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what beliefs are and then show you some steps to actually change them. What beliefs actually are is a simple story that your brain accepted as the truth. And then that's it. So we weren't born believing things like money is hard to make, or relationships fail, or that people like me never succeed, or that good things never last. All right, those beliefs were learned from school, parents, past experiences. We learned them from society, our conditioning. We learned them from failing. We learned them from embarrassment and rejection, things like that. So our brain collects the evidence and says that it must be how the world works. And the problem is, once the brain forms a belief, it starts filtering reality through that belief. So it begins looking for proof. So if you believe that you're bad with money, your brain's going to notice all the mistakes that you make financially and ignore any of the smart decisions. It reinforces the belief. This is why two people can live in the same world and have completely different results. They're operating under different belief systems. And beliefs can really control your manifestation because your brain just has one main job, and that's to keep your actions consistent with what you believe is true. So if you believe success is possible, then your brain helps you move towards that. If you believe success is unlikely, your brain protects you by avoiding risk. For example, people say that they want to start a business, right? But their beliefs are like, most businesses fail. And then what happens? They procrastinate, they hesitate, they second guess everything. And not because they're lazy all the time, but it's because their brain is trying to protect them from that failure. Beliefs can create negative ways of thinking like hesitation and fear, self-sabotage, procrastination, and lack of follow through. And it's not consciously, that's what our brain's doing subconsciously. And that's why some people work extremely hard and still stay stuck. Their actions are fighting their belief system. Step one, what we want to do is we want to identify our hidden beliefs, the subconscious beliefs that we don't even realize we believe in or have an issue with. And the first exercise people can do at home is going to be, you get you a piece of paper, and at the top write, what do I believe about? And you're going to put money, relationships, success, yourself, discipline, and happiness. And then you got to finish that sentence honestly. All right. So what do I believe what do I believe about money? Money is hard to earn. Only people from wealthy families can get it, or that you'll never be wealthy, or whatever you believe about it. Same thing with success. Success is too hard to obtain for people from where I'm from, whatever it may be. Or yourself, I'm not disciplined, I always quit, I'm not smart enough, I'm ugly, whatever that may be. And be brutally honest, because there's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you believe. And this is how we're going to try to change those. You have to identify what you believe specifically. So don't write down what just sounds good. Write down what you actually believe. Because most of these beliefs are running silently in the background. The second step is going to be, once you identify a belief, you're going to ask a question. Is this 100% true, or is it just something I accepted as true? If your belief about money is making money is extremely difficult, you got to do a reality check. There's millions of people making money every day. Different backgrounds, different education levels. Some of the most incredibly wealthy and successful people came from hard backgrounds with very little or no school or proper education, and didn't have the type of structured family that you would believe. All right, take Henry Ford, for example. Anyway, so there's millions of people making money every day, different backgrounds, different education levels. So that belief isn't universally true. It's just one perspective that your brain adopted. And that's really important because beliefs lose power when you question them logically. The third step is going to be to replace that current belief that you accumulated over the years. And you can't simply just delete a belief. I wish it was that easy, but The brain doesn't really work that way, so you got to replace it with new beliefs that feel possible, not some sort of fantasy belief possible. So for example, if your old belief is I'm terrible with money, your new belief is going to be I'm learning how money works and improving every year. It's not an overnight fix-all, okay? And manifestation can happen quick, but it doesn't just happen overnight. So if your old belief was I always quit, your new belief is going to be I'm building consistency one step at a time. The brain accepts beliefs that feel achievable, not ridiculous. So if someone who's broke says I'm a billionaire, their brain rejects it. But if they say I'm learning skills that increase my income, the brain can accept that. That's how belief begins shifting. Step 4, reinforce that new belief. A belief changes when it gets repeated evidence. And this is where most people are going to quit, if you even came this far, if you even have that much want to be better at whatever you do, because no matter where you're at in life, there's always room to grow, even if you're comfortable. So most people quit. They say the belief once, then go back to thinking their old thinking. Instead, you want to reinforce that belief daily. Simple process is going to be in the morning, write down those beliefs. I'm becoming a disciplined person. Then do one small action that proves it. Maybe exercise for 10 minutes, read 5 pages of a book, all right, or complete something that you normally would avoid. That small evidence matters, and you just have to do one little small thing instead of saying, oh, I'll take the garbage out when I get home from work. Go ahead and take that garbage out if you normally wouldn't, all right, because the brain will begin recording proof, and evidence is going to build that belief. That takes us to step 5, and that's watch your internal dialogue. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself. That has to do with the focus too, but most people constantly reinforce negative beliefs without realizing it. They say things like, I'm terrible at this, I'll probably fail, I'll never stick with anything. Every time you repeat that, you strengthen that belief. So instead, catch that thought and replace it with, I'm still learning, I'm getting better at things, this is new for me, but it's possible. All right, and this may sound simple, but internal dialogue is how beliefs are maintained. And a real life example of this is going to be like when you learned how to drive. The first time you got behind the wheel, you were probably believing something like, this is dangerous, I could crash, I don't know what I'm doing. But after driving repeatedly, your belief changed. Now you believe, I know how to drive, okay? Same skill, different belief. The only difference was experience and repetition. That's exactly how all beliefs evolve. Manifestation isn't magic, it's alignment. Focus directs your attention. Beliefs determine what you believe is possible. If your beliefs say something can't happen, your brain will unconsciously block the path. So the real work is not just visualizing, it's upgrading the belief system running your life. Identify that belief, question it, replace it, reinforce it. Do that long enough and your actions start changing naturally. And when actions change, results follow. That's it on the belief system. Now I want to tell you guys a little bit how manifestation can work in your life when things do pop up. While I was doing that focus video, telling everybody how I need to get my shit together and how everybody's doing better than me, while I was making that video, I ended up accumulating a vehicle. Now I need to take the steps to get it legal and all that. The point is, the universe delivers things different than how we probably think that they're going to show up in our life. If you're looking for love, you know how your friends always asking you to come to their house for a party or go out on their boat in the summertime or whatever, and you keep denying that request? The person that shows up at that party could be the love of your life, but you never know because you're not showing up. Something like that is going on. You know what I mean? That's the way the universe delivers these things, is through other people. You're missing out on certain opportunities because your brain is so used to that thinking that we were just talking about, and it's automatically trying to put you in safe zone mode and not have you get hurt or embarrassed or whatever the fear is. So you're like, no, I'm good, I don't want to go. but you can miss out on a lot of opportunities like that. And I also want to point out, when you're putting in this type of work and you're anywhere, whatever position you're in life, you can get these things taken away from you if you're not living right and you're not making the right decisions also. I was just looking at memories that popped up from a year ago, and my bank account was lovely. I had everything I needed and a lot of things that I wanted plus some. So if you're going to be putting in these hard work, you know, make sure you're not making bad decisions that are going to put you backwards in life like I did, because it's just not fun. It's not fun. You're putting in all the work for nothing then, right? So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this reaches who it needs to, and you guys have a lovely night.